Hello everyone else, welcome to new video. Today I'm going to talk about my life as a loser, lonely and virgin. Life is really tough for me. Maybe I can just keep the virgin, just continue as an adjective, like we can say it, my life as a loser, lonely virgin. So it can be described differently, but it is your choice in the end. I'm going to talk about my situation, my story, and my air quotes. Maybe sometimes I can just talk about my backwards. Before just coming to this world, and I have always thought about what is the meaning of being lonely and why I'm feeling like lonely and why I couldn't get success in my life. I'm trying to just keep the frame in the middle, but it's really tough. As I mentioned that because there are the lights behind of me, and I don't want to just like focus to lights because my head is better. But as I mentioned that before, it is not easy peasy. Just getting the zone is so hard for us. So here the issue is arising, as I mentioned that before. If you are lonely, life is not easy for you because you are just trying to focus on your dreams and focus on your wishes, but it's not bring you anything and any value. Most people are suffering in their lives and they want to success anything and they want to prove themselves to society. But the society doesn't allow you to do that. Most society doesn't like the people who want to be famous on the internet, who want to be just to try the things different from others. When you are just trying to do something differently from others, in the first stage, you are going to get judged by the society or by the people. So you need to just prove yourself in a different way. Mostly I'm just going to outside, just watching the streets and watching the people. Mostly people are ignoring me, and it's a very simple logic idea here. If you don't want to get ignored, you need to prove yourself. But it's not easy. As I mentioned that before, I just trying to understand myself and just bringing anybody to the table, but I couldn't find any. Why? Mostly people just getting success. Maybe some of the people are a good dancer. Maybe just they are playing a good chess. Maybe some of the people just playing a soccer in a very good level of amount level. Maybe they are the great content creators. Mostly there are a bunch of branches, right? You need to choose one of them and you need to be perfect about it. Whenever I'm thinking about my old school years, maybe when I was in primary schools, I have also tried that. Mostly just playing the chess and be unique in that. But I couldn't do that. Why? Mostly just playing the chess is not easy peasy for us, and you need to give a lot of just ideas, and you need to just do a lot of brain suffering. Mostly when you are just trying to understand your rival, you need to just guess before just he moves. That's the reason why this chess is a very suffering for the brain. So I also just played some online games, just maybe the video games, but I couldn't find any solution about it. Then when you play the video games, it doesn't give you any guarantee you will get the success. Because the competition is really fierce and someone just get the success and just competing with each other. I wish I had started YouTube 10 years before or 10 years ago. If I just started YouTube 10 years ago, probably I would have better chances. Mostly we are just liking the people or loving the people who we have seen before. If you want to be famous on the internet, it won't be in a one day. Mostly, as I mentioned that before, I'm just giving a lot of examples. Like even the Rome wasn't in a day, right? So even you want to prove yourself, even you want to try to different in your life. So it is easy to just record it every day. Mostly we are watching the people who are just recording videos every day, maybe the 10 years or maybe 20 years. Even you be a perfect speaker, even you have your intelligence level better than others. Mostly, if you record YouTube videos 10 years or more, mostly your value or your chance is better when you are getting watched. But if you don't record the videos in a 1 year, your competition going to be fierce, and you need to pass the other people. So whenever I'm filming myself, just talking about my personal issues, I'm trying to be different from other people. So I have studied Japanese and I have studied Chinese, I have studied German, but I am living in Turkey, which is a third class country. I'm also just think about myself as a third class person. So it is really hard for us just going to other countries. Even after the Iran Islamic Revolution, Iranian people are also suffering, and their pains our agonies are same with each other, same with the Turkish people. Mostly if your just country's level is underdeveloped, it is really hard to surpass and to compete with the other countries. So it is understandable. Mostly who are living in the first class countries like the England, Germany or Japan, they have better chances. They can just getting into the events and they can create the parties, they can go to the dance clubs and they can do the playing chess and other activities. But in Turkey, the situation is really fierce because even you want to do activities, You need to compete with the other people. Your activities are so less. Most of the people are going to expel you and they are ignoring you. Why? Let me explain why. If you don't have any success, if you are not bringing anything to table, you are being invisible to society. Mostly people don't talk with you and people just underestimating you. It is understandable. Mostly even you hate from society, you need to live with them and you need to just try your best. Even you try your best, it doesn't give you any guarantee. When I was in a university years, I have just fell in love in a girl and she was just getting into our class and she was the most beautiful girl I have ever seen. I really fell into love with her. But in the end, as a conclusion, she didn't talk with me. Why? Because whenever I see her, she is just passing the mans on the Tinder. She was just only just swiping to just the rich man or who has the BMW or the Mercedes or the Range Rover. She was always just keeping the right side of the man whenever I'm just checking or just watching her. The right side the man who is just have the wealth, who has a car, who has just a high level of status in the society. So just getting success in the society is not easy peasy. You need to prove yourself and like what I can give you an advice. You need to record every time and every day a video. Maybe you have a better chance when you are just bringing to table. Whenever I'm just thinking about my old school years, the high school years, it was also same. Whenever in my high school years, I have addicted to playing the League of Legends and other online games. Why? Let me explain you why. Because we want to escape from the people. We want to escape from the society. The society makes us invisible and also society makes us crazy. Most of the crazy people or the major depressive people, obsessive compulsive disorder people trying to blame themselves. But if you're asking my opinion, you guys don't need to blame yourself. You shouldn't blame yourself, brother, because most of the society is trying to make you crazy rather than you making you crazy. So you need to understand and you need to distinguish these two things. Whenever I'm just checking the vlogs, just watching the other people online, they have different lives and also they are suffering differently. Everyone has a different kind of situation, right? Mostly some people can get the things easily and some people need to suffer and they need to feel the pain. So I am also suffering, just going to a job, just working 9 to 5 and trying to do something differently. You need to bring something to table and you want to be different. But it is not easy. Whenever I just think about myself till 26 years, I couldn't do anything. And when I'm just trying to write a book about on my own stories, maybe, which is called "I'm Losing Myself." It is not an Eminem song, okay? My book is something like a novel. It's kind of impacted by the Haruki Murakami, Yukio Mishima, and other Japanese writer, and also it affected by Albert Camus, Sartre, Heidegger, and Camus. This kind of writers also impact me a lot. So this book is written in Turkish language. If I have a chance, I can just translate it to the English language. If just publish, if my book doesn't publish, probably I will try to read it online on the YouTube. If my book has bring any value to table, probably I won't record it and I won't read it on my own voice. Probably I will use the AI and I'll write it to ChatGPT or something else different, and then I will upload it as a video and someone else will going to read my book in English language or in Japanese language, because publishing a book is kind of okay. But if I just publish my book, if it does not get any guarantee to, and if they don't want to publish my book, it's better to upload it to YouTube and YouTube can decide whether my book is good or not. So mostly when we are suffering, when we are believe ourselves as a loser, mostly I think myself as a loser, as lonely. Mostly I'm not a loser. The game is so hard. I am not a loser. The game is so hard. Yeah. Mostly I feel myself whenever I just think myself as a loser, I'm just saying to myself, this Monopoly is really hard. And you start the battle from very, very, very deep side of the race. That's the reason why you shouldn't be sad about it. Firstly, you think about yourself. Maybe you have a chance to burn in Africa. Maybe you have a chance to burn in India, in a village. Maybe a village in the Indonesia. So your chances really less when we are comparing to you between the first class or the second class nations. So you also had a chance just burning in the German Nazi structure. Maybe if you had to burn in the Nazis, probably you would need to go to the army. I was remembering someone who was just from South Korea. He also worked for the Soviet army, maybe the Red Army. We are just talking about red soldiers and Red Army, and then he also just transferred to when he get captured by the Nazis, when he just get handled to prison. He also just fight for the Nazi armies, and then he also changed his side to the maybe Chinese army. I'm not sure. The different, because we cannot choose our perspective and we cannot choose our situation. It is better to be adapt. Mostly when we are thinking about the biologic evo-devo perspective, which is the evolutionary biologic development rather than the Darwin theory. The evolution is so different. Even we are thinking about like butterfly, when just the insects just being the butterfly, the Darwin theory can say it as a like the evolution, but the evo-devo theory, evolution development theory, say it as a like the evolution, but the Darwin theory says as a like saying it's metamorphose. Yeah, Darwin saying about this theory, like the banded insect being a butterfly. Darwin says that it is metamorphose, but the evolution development biology says it's a evolution. Yeah. Evo-devo says it's evolution, but Darwin says it is metamorphose. So it is different. Like mostly we are just taking the sides from a different level of perspectives. For example, you want to send a message to aliens, right? Maybe we can just count into the two theory, like the meta theory and the SETI theory. The meta theory is messaging to interterrestrian. I just forgot about like what is the meta, like the Stephen Hawking mentioned that before. Let me just think about it. Like the meta messaging to intraterrestrial intelligence. Yeah. The other SETI means searching for intraterrestrial intelligence. Yeah. Mostly there are a bunch of creatures in the world, right? Some creatures are just beyond of our livings. Maybe the aliens are real. Maybe they are living in Saturn. Maybe they are living in Jupiter. Even maybe living in another galaxy. Our universe is something like a balloon in the ocean. Maybe you can think about maybe in an ocean or galaxy is something like a small amount level of the balloon, and there are a bunch of galaxies. There are a bunch of other universes. So maybe just sending the message to universe can be affect us badly, and it can be dangerous. But just sitting here and doing nothing won't give you anything. It is better to die trying. If I have a chance, probably I would like to be die trying rather than just sitting in the around or sitting at my house. Mostly we are going to die, so it is better to try something and build something and just create our own tools, our own developments. Everyone has a different kind of ethic, and everyone's moral are so different from each other. So if you are thinking about the German perspective, their moral settings, their moral just the settlements are so different from others. For example, let's think about the Asian societies. Asian culture and the Asian societies are so different from the West, and mostly they have the collective culture. If we compare the European nations have the individual culture, but the individual culture is very dominant in the America or the United States. So here, all the cultures affect the society, affects us, and if you are living in the collective culture, you can feel the pressure on yourself. If you want to live in an individual culture like the United States, if you want to create your own business, most of the people are going to support you or be with you. Maybe they can back up to you. But if you are living the collective cultures like the China or Japan, if you want to create your own business, most of the people are going to judge you. So the things are just different, and also people have different kind of frames, and most of the people seeing the world from their perspectives or from their frames. So we need to understand maybe something can be bad for you, but meanwhile can be good for other people. For example, think about the pain. If you just get hurt, if you just your foot just like getting crashed to a bank, maybe your foot can suffer. But think about other side. For someone else, it can be a normal event. Even someone just if their foot just crashed to the bank, mostly they cannot feel any pain, any agony. So mostly it can be normal for others, but meanwhile it can be abnormal for others. So we need to just make the distinguish these two things. So if I have a chance to go to my university years, probably I couldn't do anything because I'm not handsome enough. The girls aren't interested with me, and they are not giving interaction to me. And so mostly I'm just comparing to the YouTube and trying to be famous. It is so hard for me as well. Mostly you are trying to do something, even the being a whore or being an escort or being an OnlyFans model or being an Instagram model. It's give you more value. We cannot, because men are dying here. Maybe the men also just need to create their OnlyFans account, and then we can just surpass the girls. Mostly girls don't talk with the men because they have a lot of value here, and mostly the girls just their DM box is getting fulfilled by the bunch of messages, and the mostly men trying to be different from each other, and some of the men can success it, meanwhile some of them cannot. So if you are not a successful place, don't be sad, brother. You have still a chance, and you can just play the maybe soccer, and you can just get your like the things like the ticket for New Year ticket, and if you just hit the billions, or if you just play the like the how can I say it, gambling, you have a still chance, but it won't happen. Like if you are to play the gambling, I'm gonna say the truth. The mostly the cash going to win rather than this. If you are playing the gamble, everything is selective. Everything is that just like the plant already. So it is better not to play gamble. Even in your life, you shouldn't play with the gamble with your life. Mostly the silent and the peaceful life, which I prefer, is mostly the beneficial for me. Just interesting with the philosophy, just reading the books and trying to understand the ideas, just trying to create a new perspective to hear. For example, when I was just watching and just reading the Nietzsche's book, maybe there was something like a Bengi circle, people are experiencing the same things again and again and again. Mostly I'm just recording this video a bunch of times, but I get used to this feeling before I'm just judging the other things. Mostly I'm trying my best, and the energy is not just getting vanish. I'm just how can I say? I'm just turning the energy to another thing. I'm just trying to reach the cosmos. If I just get the cosmos, it's better. Whenever I'm just creating my own self, my self essence, it is better to just keep continue. Because whenever the people are trying to talk about the ideas, trying to be themselves, mostly they cannot be successful in it. Why mostly the people going to judge you, and society will not let you to get the success. Everybody will going to just make fun of with you while you are trying. But meanwhile, some of the people will going to get the success, and people will going to appreciate them. You get the success, you are the successful, but mostly they won't see any pain while the main character are just getting suffering. Mostly they don't see the suffering side. They only just focusing the good side of or the success side. Whenever you are just trying to walk on the path, you are lonely. But if you finish your path, mostly people will going to support you, and they will say, "I was believing you." Mostly the motherfuckers get the fucking out from here. Mostly people didn't believe me. If I just get the success, if I get the 100k subscribers end of this year, probably I will be happy. Whenever I'm just scrolling on the Instagram, I have seen a girl. She was trying to say that on her reels, and she said, "If I get the 500k views on my reel, I will do the what top comment say." And the top comment was saying, "You need to create OnlyFans." So the thing is, what we cannot do, what they can just believe, what they can expect are so different. So my life is not the way I expected before. I have always wanted to create my own business, travel around the world, be different from each other and other people's. So my ideas are just getting to me in different way. Mostly people trying to be interesting, and mostly people wants to get more attention. So if you don't get any attention, let's think about a YouTuber. Most of the YouTubers, they are getting the highlighting when they are getting 20s or when they are getting the 30s. But whenever they get the 40s, they are getting one-ish. And whenever they lose their own highlight or the attention, they are just getting into the suicide. Why? Mostly people, when the people are popping them or when the people are supporting them, they are living in the dream. Mostly the or 200 key followers or the 300 key followers YouTubers are doing that. And then when they are losing their values, they have created something before and they suffered a lot for their own audience, for their own like the something like a building. So when it feels, they also feels as well. Most the YouTubers, most the writers, they are not living. They are living in their own world. If these people don't support to them, most the people, this kind of people will going to experience suicide and will going to commit suicide. Why? Because they are addicted to their own audiences. If their own audiences let them alone, mostly this kind of people will going to commit suicide because they are not living. They are just getting shaped by their own audiences. Whenever you are just trying to record YouTube videos or whenever you are just reading a book, you will understand that. You are just reading the cycle, and when you are just reading a book, you are seeing the world from a perspective of a writer or an author. Maybe this author can just teach you everything about life. Maybe he can just share his own sufferings with you. So you need to respect to this writer. Mostly the same agonies, the same sufferings are just repeating itself country to country, century to century. Even the agonies, even the pains are same with the 300 or the 400 years ago. They were also just experiencing the same stuffs. Most of the people most of the people were thinking like, if we have a chance living in the 500 years ago, we had the better chances. But it is not a good idea here. Why? Let me explain why. If you have a chance, just if you have a time machine, if you go to the 500 years ago, mostly you would have a better chance living in the village or living in the low level of society. Maybe you would be subordinate class. If your class is very low, mostly whenever I'm just recording YouTube videos, people are just coming to me and they are saying like, I need to go to the gym and I need to just make more muscles. So I don't need to do the muscles because I'm just focusing on YouTube and trying to say my ideas rather than just creating muscles. If a girl wants to love me because of my muscles, it is better not to be different for her. She needs to expect me with who am I rather than just who I can be. There are the two different concepts, right? Most of the people loving someone who can be better, but I don't want it. I want someone to love me who am I rather than just who can I be. So the things are so different here. Most of the people are judging to others if they act with their wishes or with their own behaviors. Most of the behaviors are so different from each other. As a lonely person, it's really hard to adapt to society and just creating the new perspective to it. Whenever I'm checking the girls' site, their life is very easy. Their DM box are fulfilled by the messages of bunch of a man. But if you are just thinking about yourself, your message box is fulfilled by the bills or fulfilled by the fucking just the internet bill or the something like a electricity bill. So maybe something like a credit card. Do you want to use the credit card? This kind of messages, A man's life are so hard, and mostly the man need to create something, because when you are at the game, something like it's being different. For example, I have just recorded reel and it's hit the 2 million, but whenever I'm checking the girl site, she's reel hit the 2 million as well, but she gets 2,000 followers, but I get 100 followers. What is the difference here? Because if you're a girl, your life is easier than a man. A man need to go to the construction. A man need to go to the something like a mining, or maybe a man need to use a bus, and maybe he needs to be a taxi driver. He needs to be a bus driver. Most of the men are doing the hardest jobs rather than a woman. A woman doing a really simple jobs, and they are just back up with their mans, with their husband, and they are living the very peaceful jobs, and they are still complaining about the men aren't just understanding us. So it is not easy peasy. It's some like a different, and it's a perspective of view. The most the girls trying to be getting attention, and mostly they are getting the attention whenever they are just showing their ass on the internet. Even the situation is same for a man. If they have the muscles, they are showing their muscles and they are trying to be fame on the internet. So internet has bringing some value. Some of the people bringing more value than others. So if the people get more value than others, if they have enough followers, mostly they are influencing the other people on their actions, especially the young childs. If you are a young child, you need to just choose one of the YouTuber and you need to respect him and you need to understand his ideas and you need to resonate with him or with her. So you need to check your following box, not your follower box. So you will understand even your subscriptions are so different. Whenever you are subscribing to someone or following someone, you are trying to understand what you can receive, what you can get from this YouTuber or this from this content creator or from this author. Even the reading a book is same, reading a book same. Whenever you are reading a book, you are trying to get the ideas from a writer or an author. So you are trying to resonate with this author and you are trying to understand their feelings. For example, in nowadays, the loneliness is being a key factor and it's being the, how can I say, hashtags, or it's being the hit the mostly the viral topic. Mostly why we are lonely. After the internet has arisen, loneliness level has skyrocketed. Mostly people are just suffering for being lonely and they are just going to commit suicide. Why? Because mostly we made it ourselves. We have just opened an Instagram and we start to compare with ourselves with the others. I'm also doing it. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to deny it. I'm just going to say the direct things to you. So it's being so hard, especially nowadays. Nobody can just not compare themselves with the others. We cannot believe on it. So we need to understand the situation from the first side. But it is also not easy peasy. As I mentioned that before, whenever I'm just reading a book and whenever I'm just watching the YouTube videos or watching the other people's ideas, I'm getting inspired by them, but I'm just going to create my own value as well. Mostly our words are limited. Mostly our mimics or jazz are just telling to you, or rather than our real own understanding, or rather than our real sentences. Maybe my sentences, maybe or my words aren't enough for you. Maybe I cannot just say the things which I want to say directly. Even I know the English, even in Turkish it's the same, brother. It doesn't change anything even I change my language. The thing is, we have more than value behind of the words, behind of the words as well. The words are also shaping our meaning and also nominalizing our thinking style. Mostly they are better from this body. There's a there's a thought on my brain. There is better. You need to see the behind of my body. So even I just trying to understand and trying to give more noticeable ideas, noticeable sentences, I can easily say that I have better than just how can I translate it? Let me explain and let me just give you some seconds and I'm going to translate the sentence and I'm going to translate it in English. There is more on this body. There is an idea on this body. So the ideas don't get any gun shots. So you need to understand. My ideas cannot be getting shot by the shooting. So you need to analyze. You cannot shoot my ideas. So you can only respect my ideas. That's two different things. V for Vendetta? Yeah, maybe. But there is more than a body in my here. So there's how can I say, like, let me explain things. There is more than a body here. There's an idea. So the ideas don't get any shot. So maybe you can translate it differently. It depends on the people as well. So people always just trying to see the world from their own perspective. It's defensible and it's changeable. Most I feel myself in the confusion rather than just using my mother tongue, which is Turkish. So it's understandable that when I'm just using the English, most people can judge you because of your English. Your English it doesn't enough for just doing the things alone, but it is okay. The message is important than our words. Mostly we are just understanding words or understanding the limits from our perspective. Everyone has a different perspective, so that's understandable. So what about being a virgin? Okay, it's also the understandable and hardest topic. As I mentioned that before, the girls weren't interested with me before, even my high school, primary, or the university years. So I have always wanted to go to the college, maybe just Taiwan, Japan, States, or Germany. Maybe I thought that I can find my own real love there. I have always watched the English movies or the Hollywood movies. You are just watching the people who they are in the school and they are just getting on a yellow bus, which is very famous. And I have also just seen a lot of language, just like players and the League of Legends players. For example, Bjorksen, he was a very famous player, and whenever I'm just listening to her own perspective, his own just story, I have seen that he was just get bullied whenever in the school in the Canada. So he played the start League of Legends. His nickname was Bjorksen. So whenever I'm just seeing the Bjorksen, I have also learned the English by him. So Thanksgiving for him. I know his plays. I have been just following him for a long time. If I had a chance, I have always wanted to meet with the Bjorksen. He was the best player I have ever seen. Even when he was playing against the Faker. The Faker is also different. Even you are checking their billboards, the Faker is best. Okay, if you are thinking like is Faker better player than the Bjorksen, it's kind of different. But I'm gonna say the truth. The Faker is more better than the Bjorksen. Bjorksen is also best. Okay, if you are just thinking the second one, I will say the Bjorksen. The first one, who is the very intelligence, who is the very great player, I will say the Faker. But the second one would be Bjorksen. Even the second one would be a Bjorksen. Probably I will support the Bjorksen rather than Faker because his own story was so different. He was living in Canada and he was the very best League of Legends player I have ever seen. So I'm really appreciating him. He just changed his damage or his bullying to a something League of Legends and he became the best player. Maybe he was just working as a coach and maybe he just returned back to playing League of Legends. I'm so sorry when I'm just saying she for him because he is not a very strong guy. Like, how can I say? He wasn't just trying to be universal and he wasn't trying to be bullying to others. He was just mostly just something like, how can I say? Just getting used to the situation, and he wasn't someone who is disobeying the rules, and he was a very someone is very comfortable and very relaxed. He wasn't doing the things by force, so it's okay for him. Maybe he can be different for other people as well. But as much as I know, he was so different, and he was a very good player. So the other things, like when we are just checking the Korean culture or the Asian countries, you need to be successful in the end. If you be unsuccessful, most of the people going to judge you and most of the people gonna hate you. So things are so different from country to country. Mostly whenever I'm just checking my site, my notes, I'm trying to be different, and most of the people don't see you as a person. Most of the people see you as what you can bring. Whenever I feel lonely, I get used to this feeling. Nobody was with me and nobody has helped me. Even I hasn't got any friends, so I get used to this feeling. If you haven't got any friend, it is really hard and the situation is a little fierce. And nobody is trying to talk with you. Everybody is bullying to you. Everybody is just trying to make fun of with you. If you are not famous enough, if you are not strong enough, if you are not rich enough, most of the people doesn't interest with you. Most of the people don't interest with you. So you need to create your own world rather than just trying to get into other people's worlds. Whenever I understood it, I just let the thoughts be flow. I just try to be shapeless. I have just tried to be limitless. I have just tried to be water rather than just being something different for other people. I wouldn't like to wear a mask for other people. Whenever I'm checking the other racism in Japan is so highlighting, and most of the Japanese people trying to be racist to other people. But if you check the Yayoi period and the Yayoi stage, mostly the Chinese prisoners, the Chinese refugees coming to Japan, and they were also Chinese from the Yayoi period. And even the Japanese people trying to say that Japan is for the Japanese people, it's wrong. Why? Mostly their ancestors are coming from the China. So how they can say that, how they can assert that we are the Japanese? Mostly they are coming from the China in the Yayoi period, and they think like in the past we were just come to this world in the Japan side. We weren't be in the China or something like as different. How it can be possible? Even the Japan or even the United States weren't explored that times. So mostly Japanese people think themselves superior than other races, and they are trying to be performative, and they are trying to prove something. If you cannot successful enough in the Japanese society, mostly people just hiding you and they are ignoring you. The success is Instagram followers anymore. If you have enough followers, probably people going to respect you. If you don't have enough followers, people not going to respect you. With what you say, with your own faith, with your own fame, with your own respect, are so different. The things, what you are just doing the most. If you are just call a title like a loser, virgin, and lonely, most people can label you as a lonely, virgin, or loser. The things what you write, the things what you think, it's being your label. Even you are just trying to being against with the loneliness, probably people are going to label you as a lonely. So the things which I do the most, I'm just cover into this thing. So it is understandable even you are just in the relation. Probably if you are just asserting, or if you are just trying to just how can I say, criticize, if you are just going to criticize the Christianity, maybe you have a chance to be a Christian. So we cannot escape from this reality as well. So whenever I'm just living my own world, I just feeling lonely. I couldn't find any life partner, just getting a girlfriend. I'm just getting colder, and life is really sucks for us. If you cannot build something whenever you're young, probably you won't have any chance to build it when you get older. So it is really tough. If you have still time, you need to do the things immediately. I'm just writing a book. Maybe if it's became the 300 key words, I'm going to publish it, and maybe I'm just going to send it to publishers. If I have a chance, probably it get published. But if not, even whenever I'm just seeing the words from the J.K. Rowling, even she was just trying to write a Harry Potter, it didn't publish, and even the publishers didn't like it. And once upon a time, a young warrior and a young fighter, seeing this universal, special concept, he just tried to maybe show, maybe his own father, was a publisher. The article, the book get published, and it became successful. Everybody likes it. So we cannot understand whenever we get the success, whenever we are going to just get liked by the society. It is better to continue, not compare your situation between others. Maybe you can get the success in a 1 year. Maybe you can get the success after your death. Nobody can decide on it. So it is better to capture the moment till you have still time. Whenever we pass away from this world, mostly we won't have any time to turn back. You cannot turn back. Your past, your time is valuable. You need to think it twice. Maybe you can do the mistakes. It is better to understand. It is better to capture the moment rather than just blaming others, rather than just blaming yourself. I know I'm not doing a motivation speech here. I am also blaming myself why I just started YouTube before, but the topics, the things, the articles, the money, the settlings, the other camera and the microphone, there were a lot of sufferings there. And even I started YouTube 5 years before, but my channel wasn't hit enough and wasn't get supported enough. So that's the reason why I quit from the YouTube. I had playing game channel. I was just playing to Z. So it didn't hit the enough followers, so I just quit. So I just feel like I'm 26 years old. I'm just getting older. Before I just get the 30s and turning into the 30 or 31 years or 35 years, I thought that it is better to create something like a channel on the YouTube and just giving the speech and trying to understand and trying to tell my story and trying to tell my ideas. If someone likes my ideas, okay, we can continue. If doesn't like, we can. There is no meaning to continue. In the end, even I just don't like the society, even I don't like the people, we need to be we need to be honest. We need the people. So I cannot deny it. But meanwhile, I don't need to earn everyone else. If I just earn the 60 or the 70 percentage of people, it is better not to get the 100 percentage of the people. So we cannot just get or just earn or just like the success about all the people. It is better not to try so hard. Even when I was just watching a movie, which his name is like the Tom Hanks or the Tom Hopkins, I'm not sure. He was just fell into an island. Even he was in an island, he tried to build something a new life there, and he were just trying to paint something like a human face to a soccer ball. Even he was just trying to be happy whenever he was in the bad situation. Mostly, I'm not going to motivation speaking here. I'm not sure, but I'm just checking my train site. Let me check and let me give you an example. Because I have bought a ticket here, and then my talk. Oh crap! I'm just trying to catch my train site. Yeah, there are, for example, 6 minutes for my train. What I'm gonna do is trying to record YouTube video for 25 minutes, and after 25 minutes, I'm going to ride on my train. My train site is 11:44. If I just miss this train, it's gonna be tough for me. That's the reason why there are 3 minutes, and I'm going to be happier. Okay, why there's a 3 minutes? Because this video should be at least 45 minutes. Because I have thought this video should be maintains like that 45 minutes. It's better because also if it's like that, I need to do something like preparing myself. I'm sorry, guys, because it's gonna be tough for us, and I'm just checking the clock. I'm just checking the other people and other ideas as well. The train station is over there, and I need to run for it. And the arrival here, I have 5 minutes. For this video, I have 3 minutes. It's going to be tough, and I need to just run for this seat. So I'm just risking this train, but I'm not sure. Even I'm risking this train. I'm going to just try to record it 45 minutes. It's gonna be tough, but nothing to do. I have the interview tomorrow. The interview is going to about the scholarship, which is I have applied for the Chinese government scholarship. So I have applied to 3 universities, maybe the Shanghai first, the Fudan second, and the 3 is the Wuhan. The first one is Shanghai, the second one is Fudan, the third one is Wuhan University. The first one is sociology, the second one is sociology, and third one is ethics. So if I just get the scholarship, I would be happier. I can go to China and I can record more videos. If I cannot, I will be working here as an officer, which is I hate most. I also want to be travel influencer, travel around the world. But if I have a chance, I will do that. If I don't have a chance, probably I will be a great hardship here, and I'm going to record the videos till I as much as I can, because everybody wants to be financially free, right? And mostly we need to forgive something. I'm just mostly we need to just like, how can I say, sacrifice something. I'm just sacrificing my time and energy. It's okay. It's understandable. In the end, what you can bring, what you can take. You shouldn't understand it differently. You need to understand. You need to get it what I want, what I said. Okay, so we need to flow it happen. Even what will happen will happen in the end. So it is okay for us. And also, I'm just giving. You are just watching until now. There will be 40 seconds for ending this video. So okay, I have tried my best, and I have tried to tell my story. I have just tried to tell my wishes. If I had a chance, I have also want to be travel influencer, travel around the world, making a lot of girlfriends and just losing my virginity. If I cannot do that, I'm going to be sad. But if I have a chance, I also want to just lose my virginity. So let's going to continue. If someone likes me, they can just send me a message on the Instagram, and I can away from the Turkey, and I can go to another country. I can live in another country, Japan, Germany, or United States, or the Canada. It will be a better chance for me. Thank you for watching me till now. See you on next video. Goodbye. Goodbye you. See you later. See you.